My little brother Ryan was always reckless. He constantly accidentally shoved things up his butt. I told him it was a serious issue. He needed help. It took so much effort on my part to get him to stop that disturbing behavior. Eventually, Ryan grew into a cheerful, healthy teenager and even got accepted into a top university. But instead of gratitude, he resented me for ruining his happy life. One summer, right after his college acceptance, he invited me to the beach and pushed me into a rip current. I drowned. The moment I opened my eyes again, I found myself staring at Ryan sobbing in the bathroom. "Ah, it hurts. There's a bottle of face cleanser stuck in my butt. Call 911. And just like that, I realized I had been reborn. This exact moment happened in my previous life. Back then, I also called 911 right away and rushed him to the hospital with our mom. It took the ER doctor nearly an hour to remove the bottle from Ryan's rectum. The doctor warned us that if the bottle had been even a little larger, it would have required surgery. When asked what happened, Ryan insisted he'd fallen by accident. But the doctor wasn't buying it. "Look," the doctor said, "kids get curious. But if this keeps happening, it could lead to anal fissures or prolapse. As parents, you must intervene." My mom, of course, flipped out. "How dare you say that about my son? He just slipped, that's all." But I took the doctor's advice seriously. I paid out of pocket for a psychologist and enrolled Ryan in a strict boarding school, where he had zero access to anything cylindrical. Slowly, he changed. He became normal, studied hard, got into college, and then he killed me. He said I'd repressed him for years and destroyed his chance at happiness. My mom cried a little at my grave, and I thought, just for a second, that she might feel sorry for me. But she whispered instead, "Don't blame your brother. If you hadn't bullied him back then, he wouldn't have done this. He got into college. It's not easy. Bless him, would you?" Everything I had done out of love and concern had become bullying in her eyes. What a joke. But now, I'm back, reborn. And this time, I won't lift a finger to save him. Let Ryan's butthole pray for its own survival. Outside the ER, Mom paced anxiously while Ryan screamed inside. "God, Jenna!" She shouted at me. "Why couldn't you put your face wash away properly? Why didn't you mop up the bathroom after showering? Now your brother's in the ER. Are you satisfied? Was it really my fault?" I distinctly remembered placing my face wash securely on the sink counter and drying the floor completely. Also, that bottle was over 6 inches tall. How accidental could it really have been? Unless he did it on purpose. But I stayed silent. Half an hour later, the bottle was extracted. While Ryan was still pulling his pants back up, the doctor took Mom aside and whispered, "You should really talk to him seriously about this. Once it becomes habitual..." Mom exploded. "My son said it was an accident. Are you calling him a liar? I'll sue you." The whole hospital corridor turned and stared. "Jenna," she said, "back me up. Tell them it was your fault for leaving the bottle on the wet floor, right?" What could I say? I forced an awkward laugh. Maybe, possibly, it was an accident? But the crowd already understood. They chuckled. "What kind of loose ass do you need to fall on a bottle and have it go in?" Props to proctologists, man. They have to extract truth from nonsense all day. Mom looked like she was about to cry. Then Ryan limped out, clutching his behind. The crowd snickered. One woman whispered, "So he's the one who sat on a bottle." Tisk tisk. Wild kid. Ryan's face darkened. He grabbed Mom and dragged her away. "Let's get out of here. This is humiliating." On the way home, Mom kept nagging. "Jenna, keep your stuff organized. Mop the bathroom after you shower. We can't let Ryan get hurt again." I nodded blankly while laughing inside. Like hell, this was the last time. This sort of thing doesn't just stop. Unless someone disciplines him, like I did in my last life, it'll keep happening. So when we got home, I hid every single cylindrical item I owned. Face wash, lotions, electric toothbrushes, deodorants, gone. If Ryan wanted to experiment, he'd have to bring his own toys. I wasn't going to get blamed again. And, wouldn't you know it? A few days later, he started up again. One night, I caught him leaving the bathroom, flushed and satisfied. I didn't say anything, until the next morning when Mom shrieked, "Who the hell used my toothbrush to clean the toilet?" It stinks like shit. Then she turned to me with fire in her eyes. Jenna, was it you? You hate me that much? You'd use my toothbrush like that? Have I ever mistreated you? Dad chimed in lazily. Come on, it's just a toothbrush. I'll buy you a new one. Jenna probably didn't mean it. So now, I was guilty. Ryan, the real culprit, stood silently. I looked at Mom. There are 4 of us in this house. Why assume it was me? Because your dad and brother are men, she snapped. They don't have those kinds of petty thoughts. Only girls with manipulative minds do things like this. I nearly laughed. Maybe, just maybe, it wasn't about manipulation. Maybe someone just really wanted to enjoy the taste of shit? She didn't like that. I shrugged. Fine. Let's DNA test the toothbrush. Let's see who really used it. She huffed. Fine. Let's do it. That was when Ryan finally stepped in. Oh, right, Mom, I forgot. I accidentally dropped it in the toilet last night. I meant to tell you. My bad. Mom's anger vanished instantly. Oh, sweetie, it's fine. You didn't mean it. Mommy's not mad. It's just a toothbrush. Double standards at their finest. No apology for me. Just instant forgiveness for him. And that, my dear reader, was only the beginning. Chapter 2. Fruits of Denial. After the toothbrush incident, Ryan became more cautious. He still used Mom's electric toothbrush sometimes, but now, he cleaned it carefully afterward. Whenever he used the cucumbers, eggplants, or zucchinis Mom bought, he made sure to wash and return them just as they were. Spotless. Perfectly placed. Like nothing had happened. I stopped eating at home altogether. Breakfast? Bought downstairs. Lunch? Office cafeteria. Dinner? Restaurants or takeout. One night, I brought home half a box of leftover fried chicken, planning to eat it as a midnight snack. Ryan caught sight of it the moment I walked through the door. Hey sis. Can I have your fried chicken? I'm starving. Dad glanced up from the dinner table, confused. You're hungry? Why not eat what's already here? He pointed to the spread on the table, cucumber salad with pig ears, braised eggplant, and scrambled zucchini with eggs. Your mom's cucumber salad is amazing today, crispy, salty, and slippery. Why won't you eat it? Ryan's face twitched. I'm just tired of vegetables. Wanted something different. He grabbed my chicken and scurried off to his room. I didn't need more clues. Watching my parents dig into the dinner, chewing on veggies that were likely repurposed, I actually felt a flash of pity. But Mom ruined that real quick. She glanced at me disapprovingly. Stop buying that junk food for your brother. His tastes are getting spoiled. How can he live off fried stuff and skip proper meals? Then she helped herself to more cucumber salad. I rolled my eyes. I didn't buy it for him. He stole it. You want to do something helpful? Teach him not to take what isn't his. Mom glared. He's your baby brother. Watch your mouth. I didn't reply. I just turned and walked to my room. I had better things to do, like job hunting. If Ryan kept spiraling like this, who knows when I'd end up accidentally eating something. Contaminated? It only got worse. A few days later, Ryan brought home a boy. Mom, meet Logan. He's a friend. Logan had sun-kissed skin and a charming face. Mom beamed, clearly pleased Ryan had such good-looking friends. Since it was Ryan's first time bringing someone home, Mom cooked a feast. At dinner, she kept piling food on Logan's plate. Eat up, Logan, eat up. Auntie made all this just for you. Logan smiled politely and passed a piece of pork intestine to Ryan. Eat more, he whispered. Gotta nourish where it counts. Ryan blushed crimson. Mom, of course, missed the innuendo completely. She chuckled, don't worry, I made enough for both of you. Then she swapped dishes, shoving a whole plate of pork intestines to Logan and Ryan, and placing a plate of shredded potatoes in front of me. You eat this. I quietly chewed my rice and said nothing. That night, Mom even invited Logan to stay over, and arranged for him to sleep in Ryan's room. She sweetly brought them a plate of fresh fruit slices. But apparently, chopped fruit wasn't on their menu. Late that night, I saw Ryan sneaking into the kitchen. He gathered a massive pile of fruits, grapes, bananas, apples, and one enormous green coconut, easily 6 inches in diameter. He even grabbed a small bottle of peanut oil. He tiptoed like a thief. Unluckily for him, Mom had also gotten up to grab a glass of water and ran into him head-on. Startled, she asked, "What are you hiding?" Ryan awkwardly shoved the fruits behind his back, but Mom just laughed. "It's okay, honey. Mommy won't get mad if you share snacks with your friend. Sharing is a good thing." She smiled warmly and waved him along. "Oh, Mom. You had no idea what your sharing was about to lead to." At dawn, a blood-curdling scream shattered the peace. We all ran to Ryan's room. My parents panicked, me curious. What we saw scarred us all. Ryan lay naked on the bed, only a thin, soaked sheet covering his lower half. His wrists were tied to the bed frame. His face was flushed, twisted in a mix of pain and something else. The room reeked. It was a cocktail of rot, fruit, sweat, and something unmistakably foul. The bed was a mess of yellow, brown, and white goo. Bananas. Grapes. Apples. But the green coconut? Nowhere in sight. Logan was under the sheets, sweating and struggling. "Damn it. Why won't it come out? What do I do?" Mom lost it. "What the hell are you two doing?" She lunged at Logan, beating him with wild fists. "What did you do to my son? What kind of monster are you?" But the bed was narrow. As she hit Logan, Ryan got knocked too, and screamed in agony. "Stop, Mom. It's not his fault. This was voluntary," Logan snapped. "He begged me. I didn't force him." "Crazy woman, get off me." Ryan froze. He hadn't expected Logan to turn on him so fast. "You called me sweet pea last night." He whispered, hurt. Dad couldn't take it anymore. He whipped off a slipper and flung it at Ryan's head. "Shameless. You've disgraced the entire family." Ryan flinched but didn't move. His father's rage didn't scare him anymore. "I wanted to stop, but I couldn't," he whispered. Mom panicked. "What's wrong, baby? Are you okay?" Logan rolled his eyes. "He's not okay because that coconut is still stuck up there. I spent all night trying to get it out." Even I winced at that one. Mom gasped. She peeled back the sheet, and what she saw made her scream again. Ryan's butt was swollen, red, inflamed like a bruised plum. The moment she touched it, he wailed like a dying pig. "Don't touch it, Mom. It hurts. Let Logan help." "Oh. Okay, sweetheart," Mom mumbled, but Dad had had enough. "Help? What help? He needs a hospital, now." He ran to get the car. Mom nodded dumbly. Ryan was rushed to the ER. Again. The car jolted on every bump, making Ryan wince with each shock. When we arrived, the same doctor from before recognized him immediately. "You're the face wash kid. What is it this time?" I answered first. "A coconut. Accidentally sat on it." My parents nodded frantically. Yes, just clumsy again." The doctor blinked. "A coconut? How big?" Logan raised his hands to demonstrate. "About this big." Took effort to fit it in. My parents' faces turned green. The doctor sighed. "I'll do my best." He lifted Ryan's gown and frowned. Mom asked nervously, "Doctor, is it serious? Can you get it out?" He looked grim. "It's bad. The swelling is the size of a goose egg. We can't remove it manually this time. He needs surgery. We'll have to go in through the abdomen." Mom broke down in tears. "Isn't there any other way?" "No," the doctor said. "The coconut is pressing on his bladder and intestines. If we wait, they might rupture. If that happens, it's life-threatening." Dad quickly signed the consent forms. And just like that, Ryan was wheeled into surgery. Mom sobbed louder than last time and screamed at Logan, "You ruined my son. His medical bills are on you." Logan scoffed. "Don't twist it," he begged me. "I already got him to the hospital. I've done my part." He turned to leave. Mom grabbed him. "You can't just walk away. My son's ass is ruined." Logan shook her off and walked out, whistling, almost cheerful. Mom stood frozen. The crowd around us started whispering. Some even recognized us from the last incident. Didn't her kid sit on a face wash bottle last time? Guess he didn't learn. Mom's face turned beet red. Logan smirked. "Told you. People see the truth." Then he vanished. Chapter 3, Shattered Pride, Lost Control. The surgery took hours. When Ryan was finally wheeled out, pale and unconscious, Mom cried even harder than before. She turned to Logan's retreating figure and screamed after him, "You bastard! You've destroyed my son! You better pay for everything!" But Logan never looked back. Mom tried to follow, but the nurses held her back. "He's not worth it, Mom," I said flatly, but her fury redirected toward me. "This is all your fault, Jenna. Why didn't you teach your brother properly? The doctor told us to intervene, and you were there. Why didn't you do anything?" I raised an eyebrow. "Oh, I did. Last time, I took him to therapy, sent him to a strict boarding school, cleaned up every danger at home. I gave everything. And how did he thank me?" Mom fell silent. Dad, finally fed up, exploded. "So this is your fault, huh? You ignored the doctor, refused to believe the truth, and now look at our son." She tried to argue, but Dad cut her off. "Even if she said that, you're the parent too. Can't make your own decisions?" I sighed. "Exactly. That's why this time I listened to you. I cleaned up everything in the bathroom so he wouldn't accidentally sit on anything again. That's all I did." Mom froze. Suddenly, her face went pale. Then what about my toothbrush?" She bolted to the bathroom. We heard retching. Dad looked puzzled. "What now? You didn't even get hit." Mom clutched her chest, gagging. "You remember how you said the veggies tasted like shit lately? And I said maybe it was because they used organic fertilizer?" She looked like she might faint. "It wasn't fertilizer. It was your son's own brand." Dad looked ready to vomit. He dry heaved, but it was too late. Whatever he had eaten was long digested. He cursed. "That brat, he's been feeding me his own shit? When he gets out, I'm gonna beat him half to death." But Mom, ever indulgent, immediately jumped to Ryan's defense. "Don't be rash. He's still recovering from surgery. Let him heal first." She looked genuinely heartbroken. "He didn't mean it. We'll just raise him better." It was incredible. Even after all this, she still loved him to the bone. Ryan, however, didn't appreciate it. When he heard about the argument with Logan, he snapped. "How could you treat him like that?" Still weak from surgery, he grabbed his phone and began texting. He typed out a long apology message. "Logan, I'm sorry. I didn't think my mom would act like that. Please forgive me." He hit send. Red exclamation mark. Blocked. Ryan broke down. "You happy now, Mom? Logan dumped me. I don't care if I'm a man. I was going to marry him. You've ruined everything." Dad had had enough. He smacked Ryan across the face. "Marry your ass. Have some shame. You're a man. Act like it." Ryan cried out, clutching his stomach. The slap had tugged at his stitches. Mom rushed to his side, pushing Dad away. "Stop it. Don't hurt him again." But Ryan wasn't backing down. He shouted through tears, "Just kill me. Logan's gone. My life is meaningless. Maybe he'll show up at my funeral." Dad looked like he might faint from rage. He tried to strike again, but Mom held him back. "Enough. You'll kill him." Dad's chest heaved with fury. "Our son turned out like this because you babied him." He stormed out to smoke on the balcony. The hospital room fell into eerie silence, broken only by Mom's soft sobbing. She gave up. Since she couldn't stop Ryan from loving Logan, she gave her blessing, so long as he stayed safe. Ryan was thrilled. He called her the best mom ever, praised her for being open-minded, and kissed her cheek. She finally smiled again. 2 weeks later, Ryan was discharged. The first thing he did was head to Logan's school to apologize. Mom didn't trust him to go alone. She made me follow him. On the way, he practiced what to say, how to win Logan back. He even stopped at a self-service store to buy toys. "Logan will love these," he muttered. But Logan had moved on. At the school's basketball court, we spotted him laughing with another boy. Ryan lit up. He grabbed a water bottle from my car and walked over, until he saw the other guy hand Logan a drink first. They looked good together. Their smiles matched. Their chemistry was easy. And, strangely, that boy resembled Ryan a little. Logan's eyes were full of warmth as he looked at the new boy, something Ryan had never received. Ryan froze, then shouted, "Logan, who is he? You're cheating on me? Did you forget I just had surgery for you?" Tears welled up. He was heartbroken. Logan turned, startled. His smile vanished. "Ryan, wait. He tried to pull Ryan aside. It's not what it looks like. It's all a misunderstanding. But Ryan refused to budge. Why are you defending a homewrecker? What am I to you, huh? What were we? Logan snapped. Watch your mouth. He's not a homewrecker. He leaned in, voice ice cold. When I started dating Lynn, you were still shoving face wash up your ass. He's the one I love. You were just a fling. Ryan looked shattered. If you never loved me, why did you? Logan cut him off. Because I didn't want to hurt Lynn. I'd never let him suffer like you. So when you were in surgery, I wasn't sad. I was relieved it wasn't him. Smack. Ryan slapped him hard. You bastard. Then he threw the gift bag on the ground and hissed, "You'll regret this," and walked away. From that day on, Ryan declared revenge. But his version of revenge was peculiar. He started hooking up with strangers. Night after night, different men. He wanted Logan to hurt, to be jealous, to feel replaced. After each tryst, he sent Logan pictures. You don't want me? Plenty of others do. Logan ignored him. Eventually, he stopped responding altogether. That only made Ryan angrier. He pushed himself harder. More men. Rougher sessions. Dangerous partners. Until one day, Mom got a call. Your son's bleeding badly. We're taking him to the ER. By the time we arrived, the guys who dropped him off were long gone. And for the third time, it was the same ER doctor waiting for us. Chapter 4, The Last Cut. When the doctor saw Ryan wheeled in again, he sighed deeply. Oh, it's you. The face wash, coconut, and now this. What happened this time? My parents looked too ashamed to speak. I stepped forward. He's been bleeding a lot. From down there. The people who brought him said it wouldn't stop. The doctor nodded grimly. I'll examine him now. Minutes later, he came out with a look of resignation. This isn't just a case of minor tearing or inflammation. His anal canal and rectum are severely damaged. Mom panicked. You can still treat it, right? Surgery? Just like before? The doctor shook his head. This is no longer about surgery. His sphincter muscles are destroyed. We can't save his anus. Mom gasped. Then how is he supposed to go to the bathroom? We'll need to perform a colostomy. Create an opening in his abdomen and install a colostomy bag. A poop bag? Mom screamed. You're telling me my son has to carry that thing for the rest of his life? The doctor didn't argue. There's no other option. Mom collapsed onto the floor, sobbing like her world had ended. Dad let out a long sigh. Well, this is it. The family line ends here. Without another word, he signed the surgery consent form. That night, Ryan lost his body's final shred of innocence and dignity. The surgery left him quiet, numb. He sat by the hospital window for hours, staring out, unmoving. He refused to go back to school, refused to leave the house. He said he was afraid of how people would look at him, afraid they'd laugh, whisper. My parents thought this wasn't ideal, but at least it was safer than what he had been doing before. No more ER visits, no more trauma. They were relieved. And so was I, because I had finally received an offer from a major firm in a first-tier city. It was my chance to get out, to escape. No more shared bathrooms, no more toothbrush paranoia, no more accidentally eating vegetables marinated in fecal matter. I packed and left, moving into a tiny apartment in the city. It wasn't much, but it was mine. Peaceful. Until 1 year later, Ryan called. Jenna, he said the moment I picked up. You've been reborn too, haven't you? I froze. His next words confirmed it. Why didn't you help me this time? You just watched me become a complete wreck. I almost laughed. You really don't know why? In our last life, I did help you. I sacrificed everything. I cleaned up your mess, fixed your future, protected your body and your reputation. And how did you repay me? You murdered me. You said I repressed you. Said I ruined your entire teenage life. Well, this time, I let you live the way you wanted. Didn't interfere at all. Shouldn't you be happy? He was quiet for a long time. Then finally, his voice cracked. I was wrong. Jenna, I was really, really wrong. Please, give me your address. I want to apologize in person. But I heard it in his tone. The same chilling edge he had when he lured me to the beach. He didn't want to apologize. He wanted revenge. So I said coldly, "There's nothing to say. Instead of wasting time on me, start planning your own future." Then I hung up. It was both a warning and a farewell. Because just days before I'd seen a post online. Logan had announced that he and Lynn were heading overseas to study. Their flight was in 3 days. This was Ryan's last chance. The next day, Mom called in a frenzy. "Jenna, your brother. He killed someone. He murdered Logan and injured another boy. He's been arrested." I didn't respond right away. She continued. "The lawyer says we need at least $1 million to get a letter of forgiveness from the victims' families. Jenna, we need your help. We're a family. We can raise it together." So that was her angle. She wanted me to save him again. I let out a cold laugh. "Mom, I don't have that kind of money. You know what I earn. You can marry into money." She shouted. "Your aunt introduced a rich man willing to pay a $500,000 dowry. We'll sell the house to cover the rest." Unbelievable. They really thought I'd trade my life for his. I rejected her outright. "If you want to marry into money, be my guest. I'm not selling my future to save Ryan." Mom lost it. "Ungrateful brat. We raised you. How can you turn your back on family?" She ranted for 10 minutes until she was breathless. I waited patiently, then replied, "Are you done? Great. I'm hanging up." Click. I saved the call recording. If she ever tried to ruin my name again, I'd let the world hear it. Eventually, my parents couldn't raise the money. They failed to get forgiveness letters from Logan's and Lynn's families. Ryan was sentenced to death. And just like that, his twisted, filthy life ended. Only then did my parents realize. I was their only child now. They tried contacting me, offered to let me inherit the house when they died, pleaded for reconciliation. I declined. For a house barely worth 6 figures, they wanted me to give up decades of peace and freedom? Not a chance. I told them, when the time comes, I'll follow court orders. Whatever the law says I owe you, that's what you'll get. But don't expect anything else. That shut them up. Later I changed my name, from Jenna Lee to Sunny Lee. My parents had once named me based on their hope for a baby boy. Now, I renamed myself for my own hope. Hope for a better life. A life I would build myself. From here on out, I would live facing the sun, chasing my dreams. The future is mine. Subscribe for more stories. 2 new stories every day. Leave a comment to share your thoughts.